Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. But if you're new here, my name's Tyler and I just do consistent content on all things related hockey in the AHL overall. And yes, we have another trade to announce, a very underwhelming one if you will, not blockbuster by any means. It's ironic that this happened as I was in the middle of making a trade rumor type video that will surely be up now tomorrow, given the fact that I am doing this video now. But Eric Staal, of course, the longtime centerman, the longtime captain for the Carolina Hurricanes over the past year, has been with the Wild, of course, being sent off to the Sabres in return for Marcus Johansson. The injury-plagued winner over these past couple years, of course, is going to the Wild. So a very interesting trade. So that's what I'll be breaking down with you today. My thoughts on this trade, why this trade actually happened, and why it makes sense for both teams going forward. But getting right into it, as I mentioned, the left winger and also right winger Marcus Johansson, 29 years of age, was originally drafted back in 2009 in the first round by the Washington Capitals, being sent off this time from the Sabres after only playing 1 year with them to the Minnesota Wild. Had 30 points this past season, another injury-plagued season for the winger, of course. Over these past couple years have not done him well. He only had, the last time he even played a full season was back in the 2016-2017 season, in which he had 58 points with the Capitals, which is the team he's most known for, having 24 goals and 34 assists. Since then, he has been somewhat of a journeyman in his fairly young career, still playing with the likes of the New Jersey Devils, the Boston Bruins, and now the Sabres. So he has moved around a lot, has dealt with plenty of injuries, had 30 points last year as well, besides this past season, and had 27 points a year prior, dealing with injuries in all these seasons. Now getting on to Eric Staal, the longtime captain for the Carolina Hurricanes, of course, was drafted second overall back in the first round of the 2003 draft by the Hurricanes. Longtime captain, won a Stanley Cup with them, of course. Had a very short stint with the New York Rangers, only played really a cup of coffee with them after being traded a couple years ago. Didn't re-sign with them, of course. Went to the Minnesota Wild, signed with them, and has looked very solid with them over these past couple years. Had 47 points this year. Of course, a 35-year-old centerman. Last season as well, had a decent season, 52 points, and then 2 years ago, he had 76 points. So his point production has gone down after each year with the Minnesota Wild, but nonetheless, he has been a very solid player for them and only has a cap hit of 3.25 mil versus the likes of Johansson, who has a cap hit of 4.5 mil. So you see the difference there, of course, with the Sabres actually winning this trade when it comes to the cap hit situation. But nonetheless, it really doesn't matter because they have plenty of cap space as it is. But of course, a very interesting trade. And when you look at it from just first glance, this makes a lot of sense for the Buffalo Sabres. As we know, we don't really know what direction they're going in. They would like to make playoffs. They have new management, of course. They have a new clean sweep. They have a whole new house. They got rid of all their scouts, all their assistants, their GM, everyone has been gone. It's been all refilled, of course. And this was a very solid trade, honestly. They both only have 1 year left on their contracts, and Johansson and Staal alike. But Staal is a guy who can easily come into this Buffalo Sabres lineup and be their number 2 centerman, which is something that the Sabres had desperately been needing since Jack Eichel really first came in the league. They need help on that depth, on that center front, and Staal will surely help them as a short-term solution to hopefully try to contend for playoffs next season. And from the Minnesota Wild side of things, yes, they are getting a guy like Marcus Johansson, but I think this deal made more sense in the fact of freeing up that center spot. It has been evident that they're looking for a first-line center. And even though they did get Nick Bukestad, he isn't going to be that guy. He'll probably play in the bottom 6. Third line, I think, would be the highest, of course. Best case scenario is that he does really well for them, whatever. But when it comes to this opening now at center, it makes perfect sense to possibly get a guy like, I don't know, maybe the likes of a Max Domi for the likes of, I don't know, a Matt Dumba. So we'll see. That hypothetical really makes a lot more sense when you look at it. Domi has been connected to the Wild with trade rumors this past offseason, of course, and Dumba is surely going to be shipped off, in my opinion. Of course, Jonas Brodin, the fellow defenseman on the Minnesota Wild, signed a massive 7-year contract extension with the Wild yesterday, surely making Dumba look like the odd man out given their cap situation and everything. So right now, when it comes to the Wild, I do believe that they have right around 10 or 11 mil that they are working with. But regardless, this is a situation for the Wild that are trying to find their identity. They're mixing things up. I understand that. I'm not sure exactly what direction they're going in, but they do say make a blockbuster trade for a Domi and Dumba. That would make a lot of sense. Now, while Domi isn't necessarily a top-line centerman, he could be that for the Minnesota Wild that desperately need a guy to be there for them. And he's still young, so a lot of promise with him still. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. That's just a hypothetical. I'm not sure if that would happen at all, but it would make a lot of sense when you just look at it from first glance of this trade. And for Buffalo, this trade made a lot of sense. As I mentioned, getting a guy like Staal in that top 6, helping them with offense. They have plenty more moves I expect them to make. They have so much cap space, it is ridiculous. So expect them to be plenty busy this offseason. I hope for their GM's sake that they really make the right moves, because Buffalo deserves it truly. They have been going through hell and their fan base for quite some time now. I believe they have the longest drought in the NHL history when it comes to playoffs. So it's very unfortunate, but I hope Buffalo can really make something things happen this offseason. And for the Wild, similar fate. It'll be interesting to see what happens going forward, but a very interesting trade and underwhelming trade nonetheless. But thank you all so much for watching, guys. If you like this video, make sure you hit like and subscribe, and let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to hear it. Thank you all so much for everyone that's been following me thus far. If you did enjoy this video, like I said, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't, help us reach 1K. We're just around 100 subscribers to get there, which is insane. I can't thank you all enough. And once we get there, I'm going to be doing an updated channel update video, among other things, and I'm going to be doing live streams, a lot of great stuff. So make sure to stay tuned and hit those buttons. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below, guys. Buffalo Sabres fans, Wild fans, hockey fans overall. I would love to hear it, and I'll be back very, very soon, guys.